Let me just show you the orb generating, well making, target blinding tank titan you're about to be.
Fell in love with that, hope it happens. I knew that she was just capping. I told her never got a reaction. She want me now cause I'm getting some traction. She never loved me, not even a fraction. Making money's my satisfaction. But I can never love again, cause I've been looking for love, but they never realized to the end. She don't really miss me at all. How does she want me cause I got Versace in my drawers? I made her days in the stall. When I used to cry cause that girl didn't pick up my calls. Now I got too many calls. Too many hoes on my phone telling me if I wanna go to the mall. We're down, get to the bag, we're down.
Before we start things off, I just wanted to say, what it do, YouTube? It's Kindu, and I want to tell you about what you just saw in the beginning. Now, I'm going to be honest, this is not your, dude, I'm totally about to solo a GM type of build. This is a more fun type of build where you generate orbs, a lot of arc wells, and just be a really aggressive tank type of person. Also, besides your charged melee, you're going to be getting your grenade and your class ability back much faster. I feel like people would use this build more in PvE rather than PvP because there's just way more opportunity for you to become amplified and get the benefits from that in that game mode. But alright, without further ado, be sure to like and subscribe for more fun builds like this because I enjoy making them personally. You guys crushed it on the last video, so thank you for that. The exotic armor piece we're going to be using for this build is the Insurmountable Skull Fort, which the perk on it is called Transfusion Matrix. Kills with arc melee abilities trigger health regeneration and restore melee energy. This exotic is one of the reasons alone that you're able to play like a tank. But when we get to the aspects, fragments, and mods, there's going to be even more reasons to why you're able to play like one. So now we're going to get into the first aspect, which is knockout, and it reads, critically wounding a target or breaking their shield infuses your melee attacks with arc energy and increases your melee range and damage for a short time. Now this is why I mainly use it right here. Defeating targets with melee attacks starts health regeneration and makes you amplified. So it's already going to be easy to get kills on ads with the shoulder charge, so you're easily going to be able to become amplified on top of that. We're going to be pairing amplified with one of the fragments, but first let's talk about the other aspect. The other aspect is Juggernaut, which is with full class ability energy, and after sprinting for a short time you gain a frontal shield that blocks incoming damage. When the frontal shield breaks, your class ability energy is depleted. While amplified, the shield blocks significantly more damage before breaking. Now we're running Juggernaut because we want more damage resistance, and becoming amplified makes us more damage resistant. And remember, all we have to do is get a melee kill to become amplified, and that should be easy because shoulder charge one-shots majority of ads. Now moving on to the fragments, the first one is going to be Spark of Resistance, which is while surrounded by combatants, you are more resistant to incoming damage, which gives you 10 plus strength. I almost forgot what stats you should care for, and that's going to be resistance. So try to get 100 resistance and try for at least 80 strength. And I'm going to explain why later. Personally, I don't think you should care about high tier recovery because the main point of the build is paired with things that give you instant health regen. I still need to build into my stats, which I might build into intellect because of the mods that I'm running, and you'll see why. The second fragment is Spark of Feedback, which is taking melee damage briefly increases your outgoing melee damage, and that gives you plus 10 resilience. I chose this fragment because you're always going to be up close in the action, and if something decides to melee you, then you're going to be able to do even more damage back. And who doesn't want that extra plus 10 resilience? The final fragment is Spark of Amplitude, and this is where all the orbs come from. Rapidly defeating targets while you are amplified creates an orb of power. Our shoulder charge kills get us amplified. Our helmet gives us our shoulder charge back after getting a kill. We're going to be rapidly getting kills with amplified proc, so we're just going to be constantly generating orbs over and over again in this endless cycle. Moving on to the mods, we're going to start off with the helmet, which has 2 hands-on mods, which melee kills give you bonus super energy, and also Well of Ions, which is picking up an arc elemental well, causes your next melee to deal increased damage. The 2 hands-on mods is the reason why I want to build into intellect, because I feel like I could get my super back really quick over and over again. And for the other mod, arc wells are not going to be a problem because we all know what mod is coming up. So the mods on my arms is fastball. That is not a requirement. You do not have to run that mod. It's just an option. The second mod is Impact Induction, which is causing damage with a melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. What is this build about? What I just did right there, meleeing. Anyways, Last one, Bountiful Wells. Oh, we all knew it was coming. It was here like 3 days ago. Whoop-de-doo. For those of you who don't know, Bountiful Wells is an S tier mod that basically just duplicates how many wells you make. So normally I would be spawning 1 well, but since I'm running Bountiful, I'll be spawning 2. For the mods on the chest, the first one's going to be Thermo Shock Plating, which is an artifact mod that I've been seeing in the artifact for the past couple seasons. The second one is Arc Resistance, and that's just so we can activate the passive perk that's on this last mod called Striking Light. And Striking Light is, while charged with light, defeating combatants with melee damage and sword spawns 1 orb of power for your allies and consumes 1 stack of charged with light. I'm just going to say now we're running melee well maker, so we're always going to be getting wells constantly over and over again, so this is always going to be proc. And the passive ability on this mod, since we're running a second arc mod on the same armor piece, is Uncatchable. Gain damage resistance against combatants while sprinting. So now when we're sprinting, we're always going to have more damage resistance, and we're always sprinting because we need to proc Shoulder Charge and Juggernaut to close distance with enemies. The mods we are running on the leg armor are Better Already. Your health begins to regenerate immediately after picking up an orb of power. The second one is Insulation. Reduces class ability cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. And then the last one is Melee Well Maker, like I said we have in this build earlier, which is powered melee combatant final blow, spawn elemental wells matching your subclass energy type. So since what we're mainly going to be doing is meleeing ads, we're going to run Melee Well Maker because we got Bountiful Wells, and then Bountiful Wells is going to proc Striking Light for us, and then we're constantly going to be having it proc like I said earlier. The last set of mods is going to be Distribution. Reduces all ability cooldowns when using your class ability near targets. And the other one is Elemental Charge. Become charged with light by picking up an elemental well. If the elemental well's element type matches your subclass element, you gain 2 stacks of charged with light. So that mod is what's going to allow our Melee Well Maker mod to actually work and then activate Striking Light. So now the final part of this video is just a weapon recommendation, which is the shotgun called the Wastelander, and the perks that I would recommend going for is Pugilist and 1-2 Punch. Getting a kill with Pugilist, you get melee energy back, and 1-2 Punch, when you shotgun an enemy, your next melee attack on that enemy is gonna do significantly more damage. My bad, also I wanted to show you how fast you can get your grenade and your ability back just from meleeing, and my discipline is at 30. That about wraps it up for this build video. Hope you enjoyed. This is more of a fun type of build and not like the hardest of the hard end game type of content. So with that being said, be sure to like and subscribe. The goal for this video is going to be 10 likes. Let's see if y'all can do that. But I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Bitch, it's an estimate, like it's a guess. This gonna pop, ain't talking no tire. Hitting the point like using the dart. Just like a Tesla, don't push me to start. Dishing this out just like using the card.